Okay, so welcome back to Henry's Garage. In this episode, we work on this subframe, which I got from Chris Robinson for the white TR7, so that I can install it when I next visit my parents, hopefully later this month. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and see you all soon. I've been cleaning off the front subframe I got from Chris Robinson for the white TR7, the fixed head, and it's looking really good. And I was cleaning it, I was going around it, cleaning it all off, thinking, wow, this is great. Can't believe how good it is. I came across this little hole here, and that shouldn't be a problem to fix, so all good. This edge along here, I probably ought to cut, I guess, the lower one off, clean out the rust and straighten it out, and then weld it together again. And I started around here. Again, we've got a small hole, so I don't know if that's coming out there. Okay, it is. So we've got a small hole here, nothing around here, and a small hole here, and again then nothing around here, and I haven't finished cleaning it. And I came down to this one and thought, oh okay, well that's not too bad. It's sort of, this area needs a bit of a fix, and then I got here. So we're going to have to look at fixing this properly. Now, when I'm looking at this, it looks to me like we've got one piece of metal that comes in underneath, and another piece that comes and has a little lip on it and goes over the top, and is then welded along the join. You can possibly see it better over here. Okay, so that's the weld along. Now, I don't know if this has been added here afterwards or not, but I think it's the approach to take for refitting. The thing is trying to get this cup, and we saw when I was trying to fix my other subframe and trying to create one of these cups what trouble I had. So I'm going to finish cleaning off. I'm going to work on the other small patches first. Probably won't film any of it, although I might, who knows me. And then I'm gonna, when I come to this, hopefully I'll have had a bit of welding again. I don't have my gas welder at the moment. Well, I don't have any gas for it, so I was going to use the no gas welder, which on this thicker metal should be okay. And my current thinking around this area is to a piece that goes across here, bend a lip down, and then cut the other one out just down on that lip somewhere, and weld it in around here. Yes, that's my current thinking. Whether or not I'll achieve that, I'm not quite sure, but that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So I guess I'll keep cleaning. So this area here was worse than it looked initially, so I think I'll probably try to tackle this next, but I think it might be tomorrow anyway. But what I'm going to do, I think, is nothing actually goes, something must go in here, bolts go through here. So I'm going to do a template, because this is going to be thinner at the bottom than it is at the top. So in order to get this kind of angle, I'm going to, I don't know quite what I'm going to do, but I'm going to try cutting it out with a template. So here's my template, which goes in here like this. So that's around there. So I'm picking up this little bit of hole is the idea. Still not quite sure I'm going to get it all out, but there we are. So I'm looking at something like that. It's the idea. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to start by cutting this out and trying to slowly trim it down to size. Okay, so I've got this relatively round. I need to get the bottom of it flat now, so I'm just going to get it like this and then use a grinder across it. Maybe it's not quite right yet. I think that's pretty good actually. So I'm going to try a grinder along the bottom here and see how it comes out, if it gets better. Right, so the top half of this more or less went to plan. The bottom half absolutely did not. So I need to have a think about how to deal with this. I don't have my other one with me, and I'm just wondering if it has one of these bits all intact. Might be sending a photo to my dad. I just don't have welding kit up there. Right. It's been some time, probably 3 or 4 weeks since I've been in the garage. 3 weeks, I think. And I started on this prior to doing the transmission on the Stag, so it's probably been 6 weeks since I've been looking at this. So I've managed to fill this in with bits of metal and some welding, but it needs grinding down. I don't have anything that I can get in there, so I need to find a suitable grinding tool for getting in here to just make this a bit better. And then I'm finding that, so is that a hole just there? No. But I'm finding that I'm blowing tiny holes just out here. There's one there, because it's actually quite thin out here, and in here every time I try to do something it creates a hole. So I'm currently trying to decide. I've cut out this piece to I don't know, how did it fit, that way or this way? This way. Right, so I've cut out this piece that goes here like that, and I'm debating just cleaning this, putting some primer on it, and then welding this over the top, and then trim it down. So this shouldn't impact anything else, because it gets bolted onto the frame here, onto the chassis. This is probably for the steering rack, I think, or something like that. So as long as I get this clear, this bit here should be fine. So I'm thinking about doing that because it'll just give me that much more strength. It does mean that rust on the underside of this is still there. But I'm just thinking this might weld in more easily like this than trying to cut this out. And I haven't decided. Right, I hope I don't regret this, but I've decided the right thing to do is to cut this out and do it properly, so that's what we're going to try to do. So we're going to start cutting out the top bit, into like that, and I'm just going to bend the rest down once I've got that in. So we're going to cut along there, and we'll work our way down. That's what we're going to do. I thought I'd film myself doing all of this, but looks like I haven't. so I don't know if it just ran out of battery as it was going, but you can see we've got that piece welded in now around there. All of the inside has been painted with direct to rust. I did some welding on the inside and more around here as well, so this really does need a good grind now just to cover everything up. Got a couple of spots on both sides and it's welded along there, so that looks not too bad. I think maybe if I got a bit of a lip here, so maybe if I put a little cut in there and bang that in, but quite pleased with that. That's not too bad. So we're going to stop there for today. Tomorrow we're going to tackle this bit, and we're going to take the same approach as here. We're not going to worry about this lip here. Okay, it's, you know, this side is the same as this, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to put a piece in, cut a bit of a circle around for here, and then just come in up to here and replace the whole lot, and work out how I get this indent in there at some point along the way. So yeah, we'll get some primer on this just so it doesn't rust overnight and go from there. Right, we're back. So today we're going to look to replace this section. I'm not going to worry about this lip here, so I think this is meant to be 2 pieces. We're just going to put one in. So from here through here. Take 2. Filmed this once and the camera moved out of position. So we're going to do this today. We're going to replace this. We're going to start by creating a cardboard template of this area. Something to go around. Okay. We're not going to, this is 2 pieces of metal I think at the moment. We're not going to bother with this lip here. We're just going to do one all the way across. So we create this template. We then trace that onto some metal. We cut a piece for this sort of size. We then work out how to create this dimple and holes, and then we weld it all together. There must be a bracket that goes in here, and unfortunately I don't know if I have any down here except for on the green car, which will be a pain. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. Right, there's take 2 of my template. As you can see, I've just come along here. This now fits on here, so I can cut it out, so that's good. So we're quite close to this little hole here, but other than that we should have plenty of room. So I'm going to start by cutting one of them out. I don't know if I'll do this or that first, but I won't do it on camera, and then we'll go from there. I think what we're going to have to do though is, so this right now, see it's coming over here, and really I want it, actually maybe we'll cut that down a bit before we do the, but I want this around this lip here so I don't have to bend it down at all. So I'm going to cut this back just a little bit first and then go from there. Okay, so here's the piece I'm going to weld in. I'm going to trim this piece off at the this side off at the end. So if I line up here, get this all nicely welded in. When I come along here, I can just grind down the end to match it up. So that's what I'm going to do. It's what I did up top as well on this side. So next stage is we're going to cut out the bit in the middle. Actually no, I think what we'll start, what we're going to do, so I need to get these all, I'm going to have a little think about how I make sure I get all of these holes and stuff in the right place, because that's the most important bit next. Right, so I started by creating a couple of holes in my template. I then transferred that onto here, and this now actually gives me some other way of lining it up as well. So where's my light? Yeah, so if you come across and have a look at that, you can see that that all lines up nicely. So that's the first bit. Here's the plan. So I've got this all lined up and I know where the indent is, here. I've cut out this piece, which you can see fits nicely into the indent. So this is 10mm. So we'll place that on there. And I've cut out this piece that goes over it. Okay. So what we'll do is with our jig, we'll actually do it this way round. And we'll apply pressure on here to see if we can create something. I'm a little bit nervous that it's just going to wreck this because it only takes 3 tons. I don't know what pressure I need to push through here, but we'll give it a go. Right, so it's all set up. We've got the little one underneath, big one up above, a few bits in the way, and let's see what happens here. Okay, well, we've got some movement, although I suspect the whole thing's actually bending by the look of it. I'm not totally confident here. So we can see a very slight, but not really enough. That's what I was worried would happen. Really needs bolts through there to add strength. Okay, let's have another look. Okay, so as you can see, the press was making, oh, ouch, some progress. Okay, ow, that's really hot, but not enough. So I've welded that onto the back, above where it was making progress. I'm going to fix it in there, like that. And then I'm going to apply heat to that to make it as malleable as possible. And then use my compressor and its oh gosh, what's it called? Hammer thingy, anyway, to try to knock it in that way. So that's what we're going to have a go at now. I'm not happy with how good a recess I'm able to get in here, and I'm trying to think of alternative ways of doing it. And I think what I'm going to do, and I don't know if it's the sensible, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out, and then if I have it on here I can expand that out until I've got the full width of the hole, as per the other side. So that I've got, you know, I can cut it out so it's that size, and then I'll weld a metal piece on underneath it to cover it, but down a bit so that I've got that indent. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm certain that's the way I'm going to do it. I'm not sure quite how much I'm going to have shown you of the things I've been trying. So just explaining this bit here. I tried to beat this down to make a hole and it didn't work, so I decided to cut it out. And then I've cut a piece, this piece here fits exactly inside on the shelf there. And so I'm now going to tack it here and then get onto the other side and weld it into position. I've clearly taken away a bit too much metal just there. But we'll see how it goes, and if I can, you know, get this filled in, from the other side, it won't really matter what it looks like, and I can then cut out and put this in place. So here it is. It needs there's a couple of holes there, pinholes that need doing, and this is the other side. So I welded it in. I then bolted it down onto here, and then with the two hammers, one like that, this one in fact other way up, I just banged it down a bit, and the depth of this seems to be 1/8 of an inch, so 4/32. I've got this one to 3/32, so I don't know if it will go a bit further or not. It might be that some of these welds are stopping it, but I think that's probably going to be okay, so I'm leaving that for now, and I'll show you this bit up here in a sec. Okay, so here I've ground this flat, and this is an M12. This is an M12. Oh gosh, washer. Okay, so we've got an M12 washer fit, so I think that is going to be okay. So I know it's not pretty around here, but it's flat at the bottom. It's big enough that this fits, which is I think what I will end up needing to get in there. So I consider that good. And these are, I mean, it looks a bit pitty, it looks like there's holes, but there aren't actually holes, so that's all good. So I just need to do the pinholes in this, and then I can cut it out and put it in. But I think I'm going to leave it for today, and because I haven't done any work today, and I should have done this morning, and I couldn't be bothered. So I'm going to go do it now. Okay, so I've been fitting this for a while now, but I think we've got a pretty good fit there now. So that goes in there, just squeeze it in. Maybe a bit more on that side, I'll have to check, maybe a bit more here, but I think that's okay. So this has been primered. I'm going to get some paint in here to just rust converter to cover it as much as I can whilst it's open, and then we'll have this little bit to fix at the end. And I'm just wondering whether I should do it now whilst I've got this open, because I can weld from both sides. So why don't we stop wondering and just do that. Yeah, because I could actually, yeah, anyway, yes. Okay, so I did this side, which looks okay, and in doing it I noticed the other side also needed doing, and so I came around, and where was it? Here, Henry, where's your finger? There. Okay, so I came around and did this side as well, and then I decided I was trying to take shortcuts, because what I actually did on this side over here is I put a piece along the back and welded it in, cleaned it all up first, but it was a small hole, and anyway, so I did that. I've painted the inside with direct to rust, and because I was starting to take shortcuts, I'm going to walk away now and take a break and probably come back to it tomorrow. Okay, and we have it all welded in place, so that looks pretty good and strong. So we're going to paint everything now. We'll come back once it's painted and call it the episode. There we go, it's all painted. Needs to dry, and I might give it a second coat, but that's done. So, and you know, this is the bit which had the most work, and it seems to look not too bad. So we'll move on to something else next. Probably, well, I've still got to sort out the accelerator on the Stag, not the speedometer, I mean. Whether or not I'll film that or not, I don't know, but and then we're going to get back to the green TR7 shortly. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed. don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. And sorry it's been so long, and I tell you what, I binned a good 3 or 4 hours worth of video for this to just try to cut it down because it just took me so long. There we are. Alright, have a great weekend.